What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We're going to do today's intro a little bit different. We're not going to have an intro. We're going to jump straight into the highlights. Let me know if you like this or not. Here we go. Toronto is debuting their brand new City Connects, and not going to lie, when I first saw them in a leak, I did not like them, but on the field, they actually look pretty cool. Also, kind of cool, this 40-year-old rookie, Jose Bautista, he's finally getting his chance. Obviously, I'm joking. Joey Bats helped reveal the City Connects. All right, let's talk about the game now, because Jose Barrios, he was filthy. He and Bailey Falter allowed just one run over 6 innings. Barrios struck out 5, and Bailey Falter now has a 2.5 ERA over his last 10 games. Now we're in the 7th inning. Vogelback, he skied one to G1 band center with 2 outs, and he could not find it. That allows the Blue Jays to tie it, and Joey Bats, he's pumped up in the crowd. To extra innings we go, and what a play from George Springer. Reynolds, he does get the RBI sac fly, but what a Superman catch. I think Springer is the best in baseball at those catches. He then ties it. Springer, he put the team on his back in the 11th inning, and Davis Schneider, I'm just going to skip to the 14th inning. He walks it off. He was 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts before that at bat. That's why we love baseball. One at bat can change your entire game. Davis Schneider now has 15 home runs and a 155 OPS plus through his first 84 big league games. The Jays, they're inching their way back to 500. They're 27 and 29. You guys want to see a magic trick? Okay, hold on. So the Mariners, they scored 3 in the first inning. Cal Raleigh had a sac fly. They got 2 off the bat of Ty France. France thought he had a home run, and Kevin Pillar thought he had the catch. Now repeat that sentence, but replace France with Rayleigh and Pillar with Moniak. Only this time, Mickey caught it. Mickey's been a top 10 worst player in baseball, so that's not good. I'm just praying that he gets it going again soon because he was insane last year. Cal made it 4-0, and before we show the magic trick, I do have to show Brian Wu because this dude has been incredible. 6 more shutout innings. He did so on 66 pitches. He has a 1.3 ERA in 27 innings. He probably could have gone 7, 8 innings, but they wanted to be careful. He's coming off an injury. So Brian Wu's out. What about the magic trick? Okay, you guys want to see a lead disappear? Joe Adell, he ties it with 1 swing. He was like 1 for his previous 31 with 15 strikeouts before that pinch hit grand slam. Now he has 11 home runs on the season. Ty France, yeah, he wanted the lead back. 417 feet. That put the Mariners back out in front, but hang on. Adell's up with a runner on, and Kevin Pillar got picked off. He's been so good for the Angels. A low moment for him. Andres Munoz now has 12 saves and a 1.4 ERA. The Mariners are cruising in the AL West. They're now 4 games ahead of the Rangers after Texas got bullied by Miami. Nick Gordon and Jesus Sanchez, they both went yard with runners on. Nick had a 2-run blast in the 2nd inning, and after Miami got back-to-back singles in the 7th, Jesus Sanchez nearly went 420 feet the other way for a 3-run tank job. He had 3 extra base hits in this game alone. The Rangers, they fall to 5-10 over their last 15. The Mariners, they're the inverse. They're 10-5 over their last 15. Aaron Judge, or for this series, we will call him Arson Judge. He's back in his hometown. He was nearly a Giant a few years ago when, what was his name? John Heyman put out a tweet saying that Arson Judge was heading to the Giants. Anyways, Aaron Judge was booed big time, and after 2 singles from Anthony Volpe and Juan Soto, yeah, that's not a 3rd straight single because that's a 3-run Judgy bomb. That one almost went 394 feet, so I guess he felt bad that he cheated the fans. He didn't go 400 plus. There we go, 430 feet, and he made history in this game. He had 37 extra base hits through May on the first home run, make it 38 extra base hits through May. That's the most ever by a Yankee, passing Joe DiMaggio. Was he good? I can't remember. Aaron now has 20 home runs, 17 of them over his last 35 games. He also has 34 RBIs and a 1.337 OPS over those 35, which is just mind-blowing. The Yankees put 2 more runs on the board on a wild pitch. Glaber, he scores, and because Trevor didn't make the grab, Rizzo, he was able to come around and score. Or is that Tyler Rogers? I get them confused. They're twins. Marcus Stroman was pretty good. He held the Giants to just 2 runs over 7 1/3. He lowered his season ERA to 2.7 after a brilliant May in which he only had a 1.9 ERA, and he held opponents to a 199 batting average. That's impressive. The Yankees are the first team to 40 wins. Well, actually, I should say they're the first team in the American League to 40 wins. The Phillies got there first a few hours prior. Miles Michaelis has the weirdest pitching delivery I've ever seen. It looks like he's barely throwing. Castellanos, he got that to barely stay fair. That base hit was straight out of MLB The Show. I'm throwing my controller if that happens to me. Costi gets a double, and Marsh, he got boom home on the ground out. And Mundo Sosa, he tripled their lead with a 2-run monster. Guess how far it went? 439 feet. I wanted to round up, but to be precise, 439 feet. He homers off of his former team. He was traded from the Cardinals in 2022. He's almost hitting 310 with 4 home runs and a 175 OPS plus. Is that Brandon Crawford? It is. That's his first as a Cardinal and his first home run since September of last year. Next up, we have my friend Bryson Stott with the leaping web gem, and a guy who's made a lot of web gems. Nolan Arenado ruins Nola's gem. He was so close to going 7 innings with just the 1 run, but he was still pretty good. He struck out 6, and look at this. Johan Rojas, he got that run right back. Marsh, he flew around to score, and Jeff Hoffman, he was nasty in the final inning. He strikes out 2. He has 5 saves on the season, and the Phillies are the actual first team to 40 Ws. Cleveland might be MLB's 3rd team to 40, and straight up, this is my favorite Guardians team since Lindor left. Look at the hustle. Tyler Freeman, he singles, and CJ kind of knocked himself out for a second on the face plant, and then Rocchio, he's flying. He beats the throw, and Freeman, he cannonballs into second base. The hustle Guardians, man, they're a lot of fun to watch. Jose grounds out for an RBI. That's 33 RBIs in May. He has 57 RBIs in 56 games this year. Tanner Bybee, he was incredible. I forgot that you can dial it up to 96, 97, and that slider is gross. Bybee struck out 7 on 3 base hits, and he's been much better lately, like a 1.8 ERA over his last 4 starts better. It's only a 1-run game, though, in the 7th. Luckily, Josh Naylor, he beat out what would have been an inning-ending double play, so he gave David Fry a chance. David Fry is turning into a legit problem. That's his 8th home run. He's also hitting .352 with an insane .485 on base percentage through 40 games. Steven Kwan, he was back in the lineup. He was all over the place with taking walks, 3 base hits, web gems. That's his 3rd base hit right there. It drops in for an RBI. I love this team. Apparently, the Rockies also like them because they just took 2 of 3 from the Guardians, and now they're trying to beat the Dodgers. Chris Bryant, please, keep this up. Keep doing your thing. He blisters an RBI single. Brendan Rodgers, he scored 1 easy as well, and everyone's going to score easy now because Andy Pages, he let it get past them. Brenton Doyle, he took note of that. He did not want to pull a Pages, so he made sure that it didn't drop at all. The 2023 Gold Glover robs Miguel Rojas. Oh my, Ezequiel Tovar. That ball easily cleared 400 feet. He's got 8 home runs, 30 runs scored, and don't forget the 5 DRS defensively. Dakota Hudson, he wasn't bad. He was spinning that thing. He struck out 3 over 7 shutout. Good for him. It's not easy to go 7 shutout in the big leagues, let alone against the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers were threatening in the 8th, but Mookie kind of ruined it. Yes, he had an RBI, but it was a double play, and then Beeks got Freddie to miss a 94 fastball. See, kids, a located 94 fastball can be just as good as 98, 99. Beeks, he does get the 4-out save. The Rockies, they're 6-4 over their last 10. So the Dodgers are stuck at 36 wins, which is what the Orioles will have if they can pick up a W against the comeback Rays. I think the Rays have back-to-back walk-off Ws. Richie Palacios was one of those walk-offs. He ripped a double in the 2nd inning. Albert Suarez, he couldn't strand him as catcher Ben Rortfit laced an RBI the other way. Suarez, he got some help on a nice running grab from Mullins, and that was it off of Albert. He's got a 1.57 ERA in 34 innings. He has such a cool story because remember, he had not been in the big leagues since 2017. Aaron Savali was great as well, but after he gave up a single to Santander, the pen could not step up. Mays, he ties it at 1. Did I say Mays? I meant Austin Hayes, there we go. Jorge Mateo, he almost hit a heat-seeking 3-run home run. Both Austin Hayes and Colton Cowser, they score on the double. Mateo now has a 120 OPS plus, 10 stolen bases, and 4 DRS defensively. The Rays, they got super lucky with a strike 3 call not being called a strike. It's a walk, but Elly, he had his pitchers back. He hoses Jose Siri a few moments later. Siri's up again in the 9th, but Kimbrel, he put him in a blender. Series ejected, but what was the strike zone? Kimbrel, he got the final out on a strike call that was called a ball earlier. That felt personal in my opinion. Kimbrel now has 13 saves. The Orioles, they're 36-19. Ooh, here we go. This was a fun game. Ian Happ made the Cubs very happy. Sorry. He's got 6 home runs, but he's still trying his best to find some consistency. I think he's hitting 220 or something like that. The lead was short-lived as Cincy strung together a few hits in the 4th. Tyler Stevenson got the green light on a 3-0 count. In scores Spencer Steer. Jake Fraley, he got the green light to test Pete Crow Armstrong's arm, and he's in there safely on a Nick Martini RBI knock. So the Reds take the lead, and then they immediately give it away on a free pass with the bases loaded. That's Ian Happ's 2nd RBI of the day. And then Santiago Espinal matched those 2 RBIs on 1 swing. That is a pinch hit 2-run home run. This game was as roller coaster as it gets. Hector Neris allowed a run the last time that he pitched, so this is back-to-back appearances in which he allowed a run, which sucks for Cubs fans because TJ Friedl drove in a massive insurance run, and it's massive because the Cubs, they got right back to mounting a comeback. Nick Madrigal, he was hit by a pitch to load the bases, but they called it a foul ball. In my little fuzzy opinion, it clearly hit Madrigal's palm, and it also hit the bat, but that's a hit by pitch in my book. Craig Counsell, he's tossed. Nick ended up beating out a double play, so he's safe at first. Runners on the corners. But that hit by pitch turned foul ball was awful for the Cubs because this would have been a game-tying double off the bat of Seiya. He doubles in PCA, and Madrigal, he's flying home. Remember, it should have been tied, but instead, Elly unleashes a rocket throw to nab Nick, and Diaz, he eventually got the final out on a belly can of corn. Wow, the Cubs, they're 6-14 over their last 20. What is going on? So the Cubs lost. Now, we already saw the Cardinals lose. That means that the Brewers can keep on coasting in the NL Central. The White Sox, they poked the bear. After Joey Ortiz line one to right for the game's first run, wait, hold up, Paul DeJong, he went way out. He's got 8 home runs and his highest OPS plus since 2018. Paul DeJong and Corey Julks thought they were doing a great thing, and Julks had 2 RBIs on that double, but like I said, they just kind of poked the bear. Blake Perkins, he got 1 back on a single right before Elly smoked his second of 5 base hits on the night to score on that single, but then Milwaukee gave the lead right back on a sac fly to Gavin Sheets, and Corey Lee, he hit it hard enough to give Adames some trouble, and that's an RBI single. When is the poking of the bear going to happen? Okay, here we go. Bryce Terang has been playing like a star this year. He has 21 RBIs, 19 stolen bases, and 2 outs above average defensively. Contreras, he jumped on the first pitch that he saw. The Brew Crew, they're back up by 1. They get 3 runs as Yelich's 4th hit is an 2-run double the other way. That is career double number 200 for him. He's 1 home run and 8 stolen bases away from joining the 300, 200, 200 club. Bowers and Frelick, they got it to double digits, but I'm just going to show Yeli's 5th hit for his 5th RBI. Yelich is very quietly building a strong Hall of Fame case. He's going to have to do this for another 4 or 5 more years. Oliver Dunn, he makes it a 12 spot. The Brewers, they're 2nd in runs scored as an offense, and they're 11th in team ERA. That, my friends, is how you win games. The Brewers, they have a 6-game lead in the NL Central. Oh my goodness, what is this next game? The score was 10-9, and 8 of those runs were scored in the first 2 innings. I'm not even going to show Arizona's first few runs because the Mets, they stole them all back and then some in like 13 seconds. Starlin Marte, he clears the bases, he triples, and all of a sudden Jordan Montgomery looks very hittable. He's been not very great, just like Blake Snell. They both got screwed by Scott Boras taking forever. Mark Vientos, he drove in another run on an RBI infield single, and Lindor, he laced another RBI extra base hit. He's been red hot lately. It's 5-3 Mets. Well, actually, it's 5-4 Mets because they made an error. But hey, Pete Alonso and Starlin Marte, they got the scoring started again. Pete doubles in Tomas Nido, and Marte, he drove in his 4th RBI in as many innings. Mark Vientos, he's been incredible since being recalled. He's hitting .330 with 8 RBIs in 15 games. The Diamondbacks and the Mets then just started trading home runs. They were mashing the power button. Eugenio Suarez is the 250th player ever to reach 250 home runs. JD's in that club already. He smoked his 320th home run for a 2-run Oppo Taco. And whoa, Jock, he launched a 3-run home run off of Reed Garrett, and Christian Walker makes it back to back. Reed Garrett has now allowed 10 runs over his last 8 innings. He eventually does get Gurriel swinging for the final out, but his confidence has to be shaken right now. Arizona, they dropped to 7 games under 500 after losing back-to-back to the Mets. Michael Wacha and Dylan Cease were cooking early on. They each went 5 shutout and then completely imploded. Tatis and Profar got 2 home for the Padres in the 6th inning, only to have Kansas City figure out Dylan Cease in the same inning. They got 3 runs. Bobby Witt, he singled an Isbell right before Vinny P doubled and Maikel Garcia. And then Bobby, he scores on a Nelson Velasquez sac fly. So again, it's 3-2 Royals, but it didn't stay there for long. Jake Cronenworth snuck one through the infield. That is a 2-run single. Manny, he added to it with a single of his own. The Padres, how many did they score in the 8th? 9 runs. Donovan Solano made it 6 straight hits. It's now 7 consecutive hits. Jackson Merrill with another RBI single for the Padres. Luis Arraez shot went to left field. He makes hitting 98 off the plate look easy. He's the first player, I think, since 1900 with 4 base hits in his first 24 games with the team. Those 2 RBIs give him a .398 batting average and 10 RBIs as a Padre. Profar had another RBI, and the guy who started it finished it. Jake hit all the way around his RBI double. His RBI double pushed it to 11 runs on the day, and Kansas City apparently wanted 11 as well. Nelly Nuke socked his 8th home run. Nelson Velasquez has been on a tear lately. Okay, wait, are the Royals actually about to do it? Maikel Garcia, RBI single. Bobby Witt Jr., an RBI just past Jake Cronenworth. Freddie Fermin, a 2-run single. That was off of Robert Suarez, who's now in to try and save this game. Fermin caught up to the 99 painted fastball. Nelly nukes. Did he do it? This is going to tie. Yeah, what a tease. That was a lot of fun, though. Suarez does get his 17th save. And for the first time since 1929, a game that started scoreless through 5 innings ended with 19 runs or more being scored. Again, that hasn't happened in over 100 years. The Royals dropped to 2-5 over their last 7, while the Twins have been collecting a good amount of W's the last 2 weeks. Correa, he's back in Houston. He still gets a nice little round of applause. The applause quickly stopped because he doubles past Altuve for the game's first run. Pablo Lopez, he was cooking the Astros early. His last few starts have been awful, so it's nice to see him kind of bounce back. He's not even worried about that home run because Bregman, he's been locked in as of late. He's got 3 home runs over his last 4 games. Pablo also has a guy named Trevor Larnach who's been locked in, and he only hits big boy home runs. He's got 13 home runs over his last 87 games. Pablo, he was fantastic the rest of his start. He goes 7 innings with 6 punch-outs, only 1 walk. Santana, look at this. He has 8 home runs on the year, and he's 1 extra base hit away from 700 career extra base hits. The last 5 guys that have 700 extra base hits and a 350 career batting average: Mike Trout, Freddie Freeman, Miguel Cabrera, Robinson Cano, and Albert Pujols. Hey guys, it's Editor Fuzzy. I did not mean to say 350 batting average, 350 on base. Imagine if Carlos Santana was a 350 hitter. That is some elite company. I'm not saying that Santana is going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's had a fantastic career. Kepler, he robbed Jordan with the leaping grab, and the Twins, they're 7 games over 500. They're 32-25. The Red Sox had an easy day against the Tigers. Dom Smith, he tied it at 1 on a double to left field, and this Cedar Rafaela kid is no joke. That is a 3-run home run over the monster. He now has 6 home runs, 31 RBIs, and 7 stolen bases. Did Rob Refsnyder go over the monster as well? That is a double, but Rafael's at it again. Cedar, he barely muscled out his 2nd of the night, make it 7 home runs and 33 RBIs, another 5 RBI night. He had 7 RBIs a few weeks ago, so that's 6 home runs, 23 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases over his last 29 starts. Tanner Houck went 7 innings again. That's 7 times already this year that he's gone 7 or more. He just eat innings. He struck out 6. He then got some help from David Hamilton on a nice sliding play to end the 7th inning. Houck now has a 1.85 ERA. Colt Keith, that little toe tap change is really working. He ditched a lay kick for a double tap. He leaves for a 2-run tater. Rafaela, he wasn't done with the highlights. He dives for a web gem, and the Boston Red Sox kind of end it right there. They're back to 500. They're 29-29. And last but not least, the Braves got another fantastic start from Ronaldo Lopez. He made Rooker look silly on a ball 3 feet down. JP Sears, he walked Riley, and Marcel made it a 24-game on-base streak with a single to left field. Olsen, he lofted a sac fly. Riley's in there with the head-first slide. And Kelnick, he's not very good against lefties, so this 2-run 2-bagger is huge for his confidence. Imagine if Kelnick breaks out after they lose Ronald Acuna Jr. To me, Braves fans, they deserve that after what happened to Strider and Ronald. Ronaldo Lopez only allowed 1 run. He struck out 8 A's hitters over 6, only 4 base hits. He has a 1.7 ERA in nearly 60 innings this year. Easily one of the best signings of the year. Raisel, he allowed a run in the 9th, but he does wrap up his 14th save. I just want to say this, the Braves being 9 games over 500 despite their recent skid, all of their injuries, it's been very impressive. Huge props for acquiring Chris Sale and Ronaldo Lopez. They've kind of righted the ship despite the fact that they've had a pretty unlucky season so far. So that does it for today's MLB Recap. Thank you so much for watching, and just a reminder, if you're going to any baseball games or concerts, use code Fuzzy to save $20 off your order, and my code Fuzzy on Underdog Fantasy gets new users a free pick'em and a $250 bonus credit. You're welcome. Enjoy the web gems and have a great rest of your day.
And he swings straight in, and he makes
first pitch bouncer. Sliding stop India. Throw goes to third. Candelario pumping up.
McKinstry up the middle. Rafaela dives and makes the catch.
drive in the left center field. And Perkins, look at this.
An hour double. This time on the ground, Crawford dives, scrambles to his feet, fires to first. It's close and in time.